Shri Guru Nityalila Purush, Shri Dandi Swami, Shri Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj, Shri Bhaktivedanta Bharat Suru Goswami Maharaj, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Krishna Dvaipaya and Vedavyas. So today is very purifying day, very holy day. Today is beginning of Chaturmas. Today is the disappearance of Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad. And especially today is the Vyasa Puja, appearance day of Sri Krishna Dvaipaya and Vedavyas. So, Sayana Ekadasi, Vishnu takes rest 4 months. So because Vishnu is not working, all devatas also take rest. So 4 months, they have no activity. So in the same way, because Vishnu takes rest, generally he takes shelter in Mathura at Vishramghat. So all sadhus also following that ancient system of parampara, also following Chaturmas. The Karmi is also following, and Vaishnava is also following. Externally, it looks the same, but big difference. So the goal of the Vaishnava is to increase their Hari Seva, and the goal of the Karmis, for example, if one not eats honey for 4 months, then he gets a voice like a Gandharva, means he goes to celestial planets. If 4 months he not accepts a bed, then he gets like a position in the heavenly planets like Indra. Many, many things like this. So this way, materialists also following Chaturmas and Vaishnavas also doing. So today is mostly famous for the appearance of Krishna Dvaipaya and Vedavyas. Why he's called Sri Krishna? Because Vyasa Narayanam Shakshat. Vyasa is considered direct incarnation of Narayan. Means Narayan Shakti, but anyhow Narayan. So Sri Krishna, because he's no different from Bhagavan, he's an incarnation. Because he appeared on an island in Mathura, he's called Dvaipaya. And because he expanded the Vedas, the one Veda he expanded in this world, he's called Vedavyas. So his appearance is also very extraordinary. His father was the great saint Parasa Rishi. So Vyasa, also known as Parashananda. So actually the Bhajan Stali of Parasa Rishi is just near Durvasa Ashram. The Parasa Rishi is also one Bhajan Stali near there. So to go to the city of Mathura, he would have to cross the Yamuna. So one day he came and he wanted to cross, but no one was willing to take him across. So one girl, later she became famous as Satyavati, the mother of the Kuru dynasty. But that time her name was Matsya Ganga. She had taken birth from a fish, so her fragrance was also like that. So, when no one was willing to do the seva of taking Parasa Rishi across the Yamuna, then this Satyavati, she volunteered to do that Vaishnava seva. So that time Parasa Rishi noticed the astrological conditions were very perfect. Means all the stars were favorable. He knew if somehow a son could be born right in this moment, this son would give so much auspiciousness to the world. So Vyasa's cause of birth was not some material thing. But to give birth, need a mother, who will do? Then that young girl who was rowing him across, Parasa Rishi explained, I want to give you a son. She said, but Rishiban, best of the rishis, how is that possible? I am not married. He said, don't worry, you will give birth to a son. At the same time, your honor, your character will not be destroyed. So how to achieve everything from his mystic powers, Parasa Rishi raised one island in the middle of the Yamuna. He covered it by fog, At that time, the girl gave birth to a child. That was Vyasadeva. So when immediately Vyasadeva, like the demigods, that they don't go through all this birth and growing up. Vyasadeva immediately also came to like 16 years old, and he went to do austerities. That time his mother prayed, "Oh son, do not be so cruel. I cannot live without your darshan." So that time Vyasa said, "Mother, anytime you think of me, I will appear." So after, because grandfather Bhishma Pitamaha, Santanu Maharaj married Satyavati, and by the touch of Parasa Rishi, her body became like a lotus. So she became known as Padmaganda or Satyavati. So afterwards, when Santanu Maharaj married her, then you know the story, then the son was Bhishma. But Bhishma had not taken a vow not to get married, so how the dynasty of the Kurus will continue? That time Satyavati remembered Parasurama came and gave birth to the Kuru dynasty. So Vyas means to expand. Like, my mathematics is not so good, the central point of a circle, that is called? Vyas. From that center point you expand. The circle goes up and the circle goes down. Remember at school you used to use the compass to draw the circle. So between the material world and the spiritual world, and the circle is the creation, then the midpoint, that is Vyas. How knowledge will come from the topmost levels of the spiritual world to the material world, that comes through the center point, which is Vyas. So Vyas means to expand. So Vyas did great, wonderful seva. We hear in Satyuga and other yugas, no need of any books, no need any videos, no need DVD. People would hear once from Guru and they could remember. This is called Shruti Dal. Like when Narayan gave the Vedas to Brahma, we don't hear Brahma had to take notes and all this stuff. Shruti Dal. They heard once, they could understand. But in Kali Yuga, we cannot even remember what we had for breakfast last week. We cannot remember anything. So, Vyasadeva, he took the Vedas, which before would only been given by oral tradition, and he put pen to paper. But to write, he needed a secretary. So for all the devas, who is the most intelligent? Ganesh. It's an elephant never forgets. Even in English we have that saying, elephant never forgets. So when Vyasa said, I will speak the Vedas, but I need a secretary, then Ganesh volunteered. But Ganesh could not understand the position of Vyasadeva. So maybe out of a little pride, Ganesh said, if you stop speaking, I will disappear. Then Ganesh said, okay, I also have a condition, you cannot write anything you don't understand. So what Ganesh composed, that Ganesh was writing, that's why Ganesh only has one tusk, the other one he used as a pen. So Vyas took the one Veda and he expanded into four. And each of these four Vedas, Rig, Samo, Yajur and Atharva Veda, he gave to each disciple, 4 men disciples. Then he composed the 18 Upanishads, 6 Upanishads famous in Sattvagun, 6 in Rajagun, 6 in Tamagun. Many people think the Puranas are not Vedic. But Jiva Goswami gives the argument, Purana means to complete, Pura. So what completes the Vedas must also be Vedic. It cannot be non-Vedic. Just like if you have a gold bangle and a piece is missing, what do you use to complete the bangle? It should also be gold. So he composed the Vedanta Sutra. But when he composed the Srimad Bhagavatam, that first verse, Vedanti tat tasva vedam tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmetmi parametmi bhagavan iti shapyate. when Vyasa spoke that verse, Guru Maharaj would sometimes say, this verse, the rest of the Bhagavatam is the Paribhas. This is the definition of the Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse. So when Vyasa spoke this verse, then Ganesh put his pen down. His head was spinning, he could not understand. Therefore this verse is called Vyasa Kut, the knot of Vyasa. Because even Ganesha's brain knotted by that. How can Bhagavan be the non-dual absolute truth, yet at the same time appear in three different features? So that Krishna, Advaigyan Tattva Krishna Vajananandan Swarup Shakti Rupa Tad Hoya Vasna. Therefore Kaviraj Goswami has put the same verse in very simple language. Vajananandan Sri Krishna, he is called the non-dual absolute truth. Advaigyan Paratattva means there is nothing in existence which is separate from him. Maya Tattva produced this Prakriti. The Chit Shakti produced all the varieties in Vaikuntha. And the Tatastha Shakti produced unlimited individual Vivanams Tattva jivas for Krishna's sake. So these three Shaktis are also non-different than Krishna. Therefore, definitely Vyasadeva, he established the theory of Shakti Parinamva. The theory that Bhagavan has no transformation, but his Shaktis, the transformation of his multifarious Shaktis, produce the varieties of this creation. So Vyasa, he compiled so much, the Vedanta Sutra. He also compiled the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is for Sudras, women, and the less intelligent. So everyone in hello Sudras, Sambhava and Kaliva, most are Sudras. If you're not a Sudra, you're a woman. If you're not a woman, you're less intelligent. So that means everyone in Kaliva. So Vyasa did that Mahabharata, more than 400,000 verses. There in an indirect way, he also gave so much Krishna Katha. Like Guru Maharaj would say, if we present pure topics of Krishna, very few people will come. Therefore, Vyasadeva, through the medium of materialistic topics, the Pandavas, love, war, Draupadi's marriage, this, that, he attracts people for Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha means what was spoken by Krishna, like Bhagavad Gita, or what is spoken about Krishna by his devotees. So Vyasadeva did so much. Vyasadeva did so much. But despite doing so much, he was not feeling satisfied. Some lacking was there. He also could not understand why I do not feel happy. Just like psychiatrist, psychiatrist also has to go to a psychiatrist, otherwise they become crazy. Doctor cannot tell on disease. Even doctors sometimes have to go to another doctor. So Vyasa, despite doing so much, he could not understand why I'm not happy. He was feeling despondent that time, but he could not also understand why I'm not happy. That time his guru, Narada Rishi, came. Then Vyasa became so much happy seeing Narada Rishi. Like peacock dances. Now rainy season, peacock dance when they see the rain. So when sadhu comes, also devotees should be like peacock. So Vyasa became very happy. He welcomed with so much affection. He gave seeds and puja. And just like a cow, when it sees affection of calf, gives so much milk. So Narada Muni felt so much vatsalya towards Vyasa, who had all good qualities, humble, affectionate, faithful. Then Narada Muni said, Vyasa, you seem not to be happy. What could be the cause of your despondency? Then Vyasa said, I also don't know. What could be? But Gurudev, son of Brahma, you know everything, so tell me. You are like the sun. Oh Narada, you are like the sun which travels the universe just for the benefit of others. So please tell me, what is my fault? So these famous instructions in the first canto of Bhagavatam, when Narada Muni tells Vyasa the history of how he got the Bhagavatam. So Narada Muni said, Nayad vachas chittavadam hariyasa jagat pavitram praganante kalachit You have not directly described the pastimes of Bhagavan. Not directly. You have described everything indirectly. Therefore, you are not feeling satisfied. Oh, Vyasa, people in this world are two types, the crow and the swan. The crow goes to the dirty places. In the same way, the materialistic people go towards materialistic topics. But the Vaishnavas are like swans. Swans, very expert in taking what is necessary for them. If you mix cream and water together, the swan will only take the cream. So you have already described all types of materialistic activities, dharma, artha, karma and moksha. But you should just write another scripture, which only one topic, Krishna Dasayaka Prem Pancha Purusa, the fifth goal of life, that is Krishna Prem. You should write another Shastra only for the Vaishnavas. So Narad Muni blessed Vyasa. And what Vyasa saw in his samadhi, Bhakti Yoga Manasi Samat Pranake Amale Apashat Purusha Purnam Maya Chatada Pasrayam. So in his Bhakti Yoga Samadhi, he saw Param Purush with his Shakti. Means he saw Radha Krishna. He also saw all the other incarnations. And what he described, that is 12 cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is Vyasadev's maturity of his God realization. Therefore Vyasa made so much contribution. But like a tree, or like a cow which gives no milk, or a tree which gives no mango, that tree has no value. So in the same way, all the Vedas is like a tree, but without the Bhagavatam, then his Veda is also not so much value. Therefore the Vyasadev's great contribution, he gave this Srimad Bhagavatam. And through his parampara, especially through Madhvacharya, Vyasa gave all instructions also directly to Madhvacharya. There are 7 Chiranjeevs who never die. Vyasa is one of them. So even though Madhvacharya appeared only 900 years ago, and Vyasa appeared 5,200 years ago, because even today Vyasadeva is in his ashram there in Badrik Ashram. So Madhvacharya in modern age went there to the Himalayas, and directly he heard the explanation of Mahabharata, that is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And by mercy of Vyasadeva, many things came in the heart of Madhvacharya, and this came through Pura Parampara to the modern age. So, I may just quickly say, in the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before Mahaprabhu's sannyas, then Mahaprabhu said to Srivas, "Oh Srivas, tomorrow is Vyasa Puja, so we should do Vyasa Puja in your home." So Srivas Pandit became very happy. "Prabhu, by your mercy, everything is there." So they arranged everything for Vyasa Puja in the house of Srivas Thakur. So all Vaishnavas were there, of course, Sachinandan, Vishwamba, then Gadadhar Pandit, all Vaishnavas, Srup Damodar, everyone was there. So the puja was performed, and Kirtan was done. And afterwards, then, at the finality of the puja, Nityananda was meant to put the flower garland on the neck of Vyasadeva. Again and again, Nityananda was delaying. Again and again, the devotees were saying, "Come on, Nitai, we have to finish the puja." Then Mahaprabhu said, "Oh Shripad, we have to finish the puja. Put the garland on the neck of Vyasadeva." That time, Nityananda Prabhu, he put the garland directly on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thousands and thousands of Vyas come from where? That come from Lord Chaitanya. So Guru Puja means, Nityananda, he showed, Guru Puja means not that the Guru is just taking Pratishtha and Pranami from disciples, but really he's fixing their mind on Ishtadev Radha Krishna. So in the modern age, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur greatly expanded this Vyasa Puja in the modern age. He would, taking help from also the Padatis of especially Sri Sampradaya and other things, he made very extensive Vyasa Puja. So he called the Vyasa Panchak. Right? 7 groups of 5 personalities. Remember? There's Vyasa Panchak. Like one Panchak is, I cannot remember. One Panchak, 7 groups of 5 personalities. The Panchatattva, Radha Krishna, Krishna and the 4 Sampradayas.
Krishna Panchak, Vyasa
Krishna Panchak, Vyasa Panchak, Guru Panchak, Acharya Panchak.
Sankadik Panchak,
Oh, Sankadik
Guru Panchak,
Guru Panchak. 7
Upas Panchak,
7 groups of 5.
Tattva Panchak.
So one time we did with Gurudev in Hawaii. So 35 personalities, Saraswati Thakur would do. This is the complete Guru Puja. So on this day, Gurudev would also give ideal example. On this day, he would engage himself and all disciples in worshipping the Guru Parampara. And then afterwards, he would take or not take his own seva. But first, he would engage everyone in the worship of the Guru Parampara. So the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas are there, all are worshipful. But the Guru of all 4 Sampradayas is Vyasadeva. So on this day, not just Gaudiya Sampradaya, but all other Sampradayas also worship Vyasadeva with too much respect, acknowledging his contribution. Only the Mayavadi Sampradaya, they also do Vyasa Puja, but their Vyasa Puja is very strange thing. Because Sankaracharya, when he wrote his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, he said Vyasa made a mistake. Because Vyasa